Is it okay to come out now? I don't need to wait any longer? Wonderful! Hello, my fellow Tunatics. I'm Checkerboard and Pegasus, but my friends call me Checkers. Call me Checky without giving me a kiss afterwards, and you die. Just kidding. You might remember me as that one tiny eccentric stallion with a freaky size kink. And if you don't, and you happen to be a wholly new viewer, don't Google that shit! As you may already know from looking at the title of this review, today I'll be taking a look at Pony Life, the current, as of making this review, and temporary iteration of the My Little Pony franchise to hold us over until Generation 5 comes out next year. It's set to be released on summer 2020 on Discovery I mean, whenever the money-grubbing leeches at Hasbro feels like it on their YouTube channel. Already I can tell that this one's going to be a doozy, and not in a good way. Who knows? Maybe the show itself will be better than the poor planning made by these execs. Discovery Family is already a sinking ship, so it might work better on an online platform. Hello, this is Checkers in the future, in the middle of editing this. So apparently it seems that they're airing Pony Life on Discovery Family now. These bastards literally waited until the last minute to tell us any sort of news that any coverage stating this would be exclusively a YouTube thing is automatically outdated. Thank goodness I'm going to upload this in November. If there's a set date for the US premiere, I'll put it right here, right now. But enough dilly-dallying. Let's get on with the review. Okay, story time. Our story begins on the night of October 12, 2019. After waiting 14 consecutive hours of watching the same rerun episodes of the last two seasons, Discovery Communications has given us one last hurrah by airing what is supposed to be the final 3 episodes of Friendship is Magic, and aired it on prime time no less, on an event equivalent to the Super Bowl. Okay, you got me. Maybe it's not like the Super Bowl, but it was an event nonetheless. And sure, this won't be the last time we get to see the main 6 in this form, as we got the Friendship is Forever miniseries, the Holidays Unwrapped TV special to cap off the Equestria Girl series, and the IDW Season 10 comics. But in terms of mainline official series content, it was definitely an end of an era. This show has given fans so many memorable experiences and has created a fandom filled with likable people that couldn't be outmatched by any other property that I would be remiss if I didn't say that I felt depressed, saddened, and even teary-eyed for the show's departure. I kept singing the finale song for the next month. That's how passionate I am for this show, and I bet you all feel the same way, if not more. However, a day prior to the finale, the network did feature a 30-minute long documentary showcasing the development, impact, and legacy of the show through its staff. And at the end of the special, Mr. Steve Davis foreshadowed what's to come for the series beyond 2019.
Now we have 4 films, music albums, TV specials, and an ongoing digital series on YouTube. And our spin-off series, Equestria Girls, launched in 2013 as a movie. Now coming up next is the new all CG My Little Pony movie, the second one, and we know that everybody is gonna love it. And we have a lot more things in store for the franchise. Stay tuned for lots more My Little Pony content.
Oh, we took it all with blissful ignorance as we assumed that the people at Hasbro was going to put a lot of care and consideration into any upcoming projects involving these characters. After all, they gave us 222 episodes worth of content, shorts galore, and a movie. Yet we were not prepared for what's about to come. Oh yeah, so is everybody else. What makes you so special? But in all seriousness, it was only a month since the end of the show that we were able to acknowledge its successor, and people were divisive, to say the least. The product in question is named Pony Life. When the trailer debuted back in November, I didn't know what to make of it. I was definitely willing to give the show a chance. After all, lots of existing cartoons have dealt with a rebranding to keep themselves fresh and current. Batman, Ninja Turtles, Ben 10, Scooby-Doo, you name it, they've all been altered. Heck, a newer and popular rebrand can change the original work in the long term, just like FIM. So rather than regressing back to the past, why not keep moving forward? However, this trailer struck a chord with me. We're still reflecting on the finale. Some of us haven't even watched the ending yet, but they insist to shove this new iteration down our throats so soon. Oh boy, you must have some real balls to be showing off at a funeral like that! Now, it's been about a year since the announcement trailer, and the show has debuted the season in its entirety on Canada's Treehouse TV network, with claymation-like shorts and weird-looking CGI segments to boot. So, what do I personally think about this incarnation? I'll tell you, after these messages.
My Little Pony Friendship is Magic will be right back on The Hub.
My little pony, hey y'all, come on inside and sweet apple like it's party time. We're here with all of our friends, Applejack, Sonic, never ends. The new My Little Pony Friendship is Magic collection. You can collect them all. Figures and playsets each sold separately.
Coming up next, My Little Pony.
Please, every pony, stand back. I need air. Woo! Ponyville forever!
Now, my dear, we have to
So, how do I feel about this new reboot to the beloved cartoon aimed at little girls? Well, if you want the short answer, it's tolerable and fun, a cute little turn your brain off kind of cartoon, and a decent 6.5 or 7 out of 10 at best. Though I do have some qualms with the show that needs to be addressed, one of which doesn't even involve the show itself, but from the Brony analysis community, the audience that Pony Life is partially trying to market. Now, if you want my views on these personalities, they appear like pretty cool people that probably lead such interesting lives when they're not on camera. But whenever I do watch their content, they're not my cup of tea. In fact, I'd be blunt by saying that they flat out suck, and their coverage of the show is no exception. Oh no! Do you hear that? It's the sound of the same creators spouting the same comment over and over again as if they have nothing uniquely different to say. And it's getting louder! Run and take cover! Ah!
It has a little something for everyone.
Overused. My word! I'm aware that you all are semi-notable figures in this fandom and you can easily sway your viewers into agreeing to anything you say like a group of lemmings, but at least try to be more original than share the same copy-paste opinion of the same initial thoughts. Really? Tell me the difference between that fucking faggot and this views on the show. They might be two different titans in their own right, but their viewpoints are no better than a Hydra. Such a shame that not everyone has a vast knowledge on cartoons like I do.
Please, 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 get a life.
Anywho's, they suggest that the show is a bit hard to swallow because of its wackier antics, shorter runtime, rapid pacing, and shallow morals. And to that I say,
No one cares what you think, Freckle Dick!
not every cartoon has to come with a deep and compelling story, characters that have to deal with physical and emotional changes, continuity, and mature subject matters. Some cartoons can just be zany, off-the-wall, unexpected experiences and still come off as charming. Which makes me peeved that we're all passing it off as another bland, run-of-the-mill comedy. Even though we need it more than ever. The 2010s has given us so many gems, but whenever someone mentions a quirky, whimsical comedy, they don't want to look at it with a passing glance, and that's fucking pitiful. You know what? It's high time I put my hat in the ring here and state this as fact. Pony Life is not a Teen Titans Go wannabe. It's a Wabbit wannabe. Yeah, you know, that series that remained relatively obscure that is also based on an existing IP that nobody cared about when it came out, and nobody cared about it ever since, except when you're this guy, then you definitely deserve a wings up. This show has a zanier vibe similar to the Clamp It Looney Tunes shorts, has a shorter runtime, swift pacing, uses of technology that will be dated in a decade or two later, exaggerated versions of the famous Warner Brothers characters, and callbacks to the source material. All the bells and whistles that came with Pony Life, this show has done as well just 5 years earlier. The only reason why I'm the one pointing this out is because I'm a cartoon-obsessed loony.
And besides, who cares about what I have to say? More crap to feed their shit for brains, I always say.
But enough of the slander and mudslinging. I'm not a jerk, I just think their opinions are trash. And if you want to prove me wrong, explain it in the comments with some proof, because I'm pretty sure Pony Life doesn't do pandering stuff like singing about breakfast foods or baby hens.
When are you going to talk about Pony Life already? You lousy SOB.
Sheesh, sorry. This is my first review, and I'll admit pacing is not my strong suit. So keep it down, you... Alrighty then, the pros. I have to admit, the animation actually looks better than FIM. Face it, every pony. Puppet rigging and reusing assets in Flash can never compete with digitally hand-drawn animation. Obviously, this series doesn't have the budget of a Pixar film, but for a TV and web series, it definitely fits the bill. I also enjoy the new additions to the cast. Potion Nova serves her purpose as a fun replacement to Zecora. Let's be honest here, Hasbro is not going to touch on her backstory with a 10-foot pole. She was always intended to be this black token character to win diversity points, so it's best we leave it to the IDW staff. Octavio Pie has got to be one of my personal favorite screw the audience jokes I've seen in some time. Dishwater Slog is a refreshing big-dicked slacker character that's too good than he has any right to be. Bubbles is an amusing take on the finicky feline formula. Finn puts Sapphire Shores to shame. The trio of emo goth ponies, Derek, Matt, and Matt. Frankly, I don't have anything to say on them, but they're cool for background ponies and hopefully they'll get their time to shine. And then there's Fluttershy. And the stories itself are simple, straightforward, and fun, just like the earlier episodes of FIM. Hey, remember when Twilight had to worry about which one of her friends were going to be her +1 in the Grand Galloping Gala than trying to show her self-worth of being a responsible princess? Yeah, we're going back to those episodes, and I'm all happy for it. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the cons. They're only minor at best and they shouldn't reflect the overall experience. As long as you can look at this show as its own thing and not a full-on continuation of FIM, then these nitpicks are absolutely meaningless. That being said, the consistency between the characters' personalities can be confusing at times, and it's not in regards to the abilities they gain when guzzling down a bottle of potion. Sure, that's what the kids are calling it. No, I mean aside from Rarity, Pinkie Pie, and maybe Rainbow Dash, the rest of the main 6 suffer a major overhaul. AJ is frequently suffering from an identity crisis and compensates by breaking the fourth wall. Twilight at times can be very competitive even though she's supposed to be the level-headed intellectual of the group, and the one that suffered the most change was Fluttershy. She's a fucking masochist now. Actually, no. That's how I feel about Fluttershy. Fluttershy now acts like a two-faced oddball, a character that appears sweet and innocent to the world around her, but in actuality has a quote-unquote dark side and shows her true colors at will. Not to mention, she has size abilities that irks me every time I see it, because I absolutely hate this character. Speaking of hate, normally I have a bone to pick with these shifty characters with a burning passion, especially when the previous iteration of her she was overly showered with praise, to which I dubbed the term Fluttershy favoritism for a reason. But even the most drastic of changes doesn't sour my taste for this show. I'd even say having her evil works better in its favor. It gives me a reason to hate her more, but all for the right reasons. Another problem would be the unofficial passing of the torch for some of the well-known characters. Yes, it's strange, even off-putting to hear characters like Spike and Discord be portrayed by VAs other than Kathy Westlook or John Delancey, but lots of cartoons change up their characters' voices with every new take. Some VAs would rather do it past their prime until the day they die, others would retire, and then there's the certain minority who would stop voicing the character out of their best interest, like Kathy. I wholeheartedly respect her decision, as most VAs shouldn't be entitled to be the exclusive voice for the character, which is why I'm not complaining for Hello Pinkie Pie. But as for John Delancey, they're going to need the funding for something. John is too big of a name to be used as a recurring role, so it's a no-brainer why he couldn't reprise his role here. But Tabitha and Peter are doing a hell of a job voicing these characters, and should deserve a fighting chance to stand out just as much as the show itself. What else is there? Music? Character design? Doesn't matter if the show looks like the CalArt style. I grew up with cartoons that had a UPA Resurgence style, so a similar look doesn't mean much to me. And Daniel Ingram may be a great musician, but he was also a pretty repetitive one at that, so I'm fine with having some fresh blood compose the music. I guess that's about covers it. So, what else is there to say about Pony Life? It's clearly never going to live up to the high standards set by its older siblings, and it's hardly likely that the show will ever reach the same success as its predecessor. So why is this nameless newcomer with a short stature defending it as if it still has merit? Because I believe that every established idea should be open to interpretation, regardless of where it comes from. Think about it. The fandom has made so many artwork, comics, animation, fanfics, OCs, theories, music, and personalities that the fans can accept it with open hooves even if it strays away from the original source material. But if a completely new staff from Hasbro HQ decides to make a different take on the franchise, suddenly that's when we're all up in arms about it and bash on it like it doesn't have any right to exist. Kind of hypocritical if you ask me. The staff working on this series is basically doing the same thing as we do by dabbling into the show's lore and making new stories that can never be told in FIM. Just because it's new and topical for this new generation of children doesn't mean that it should be chastised for it. In fact, it should be commended for its attempt of reinventing the world of Equestria and Lauren Faust's vision. I would rather have that over letting the show drag on for another 20 seasons or so any day. And besides, we don't have to wait too long for Generation 5 to arrive, and we'll all look back at Pony Life as a punchline a few years down the line, so we might as well go along for the ride while the train's still going. But enough about me. What do you think about Pony Life? Comment down below. You managed to listen to this loser's thoughts, so I would like to hear an opinion from a bona fide expert. And if you want to hear more thoughts about my views on specific pony/animation content, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Don't worry, I'm not going to plug myself all the time. This is just a once-in-a-while kind of thing. This is Checkers and...
Wow. I've been chatting to a non-existent audience for a short while now, and there's no giant in sight to pester me. Everything must be coming up. Checkers! Oh, I feel like celebrating.
I might even go into song like one of those cliche Disney movies. I was prepared to do my best with what it takes to pass the test. All those doubts I can dismiss. Turns out you were prepared for this. I clearly had just what it takes to pass a test with such high stakes. I knew for sure you would prevail. Since when does checkerboard ever fail? All those doubts you can dismiss. Trust yourself and you cannot miss. Turns out you were prepared for this.
Oh, Checkers! Checky! Are you here, darling?
Strange. I could have sworn this is the cute Squishy Bug studio.
But I suppose he's still very busy.
Oh no, might as well head back to the boutique. These dresses are not going to make themselves.
Darn. Stay tuned, folks. There's more stuff coming. Turns out you were prepared for this.
Checkers, where are you? The great and powerful Trixie requires service from her beloved mini assistant Pronto!
What's taking him so long? And why do I have this tickling feeling on my hosies?
Probably nothing.
Darn. Stay tuned, folks. There's more stuff coming.
Adventure ponies.
Yeah! Hey, it's me!
Dragon trouble.
Mini Pants, take that!
Applejack smack.
Yeah!
Oh no, a Hydra.
Whoopsie!
Rainbow dash. Uh-oh, it's Discord. Elements of harmony unite. You win. My Little Pony. Saturdays, only on the Hub. It could happen.
Something big is coming to Ponyville. Something really big.
Hey, pony friends.
The penis is in the pudding. What?